Over the last several years, Nikon has been methodically reshaping its mirrorless lineup, finding a precise balance between cutting-edge performance and uncompromising image quality. Cameras like the Z8 and Z9 have demonstrated that Nikon can stand toe-to-toe with the industry's top contenders, offering blistering speed and professional-grade reliability for sports, action, and wildlife shooters. On the other end of the spectrum, models such as the Z6 III have catered to hybrid creators, those who demand strong video capabilities and still photography performance in a more affordable and compact form factor. But amid this wave of progress and innovation, one segment of Nikon's loyal user base has been left quietly waiting: the high-resolution purists. These are the photographers who live for every pixel, the landscape artists, the studio professionals, and the fine art creators who prioritize dynamic range, tonal accuracy, and micro-detail above all else. For this group, the Nikon Z7 series has long been a trusted companion. Since its debut, it has stood as Nikon's benchmark for precision and color fidelity, offering images that are both technically pristine and artistically expressive. The Z7 II, in particular, became a workhorse for professionals who needed unwavering reliability and depth in their images. Yet, with technology advancing rapidly and the competition growing fiercer each year, many photographers have begun to wonder, when will the Nikon Z7 III finally arrive? And more importantly, what new innovations will it bring to redefine the meaning of high-resolution photography in the mirrorless era? To understand the excitement surrounding the Nikon Z7 III, it's essential to look back at the legacy of the Z7 series and what it represents in Nikon's mirrorless evolution. When the original Z7 launched in 2018 alongside the Z6, it marked a pivotal turning point for Nikon, the company's serious entrance into the world of full-frame mirrorless cameras. With a 45.7-megapixel full-frame sensor, the Z7 delivered breathtaking image quality that rivaled and, in many cases, surpassed Nikon's DSLR flagships at the time. The camera's design, too, struck a balance between familiar DSLR ergonomics and the compact form factor expected of mirrorless systems. It instantly resonated with professionals who needed a lightweight yet dependable tool that didn't compromise on resolution or color accuracy. Then came the Nikon Z7 II in 2020, a refinement rather than a revolution. It carried forward the same 45.7-megapixel sensor, but introduced dual Expeed 6 processors, improving overall responsiveness, buffer depth, and autofocus performance. Nikon addressed several user feedback points, refining the handling, boosting low-light AF, and enhancing video reliability. The Z7 II felt like a matured version of the original Z7, one that solidified Nikon's reputation for creating cameras that excel at still photography. However, as the broader mirrorless landscape began to shift toward faster, AI-driven systems with stacked sensors and computational enhancements, the Z7 line began to fade into the background. Meanwhile, Nikon's focus shifted toward innovation in other areas. The Z9 shattered expectations with its stacked sensor, blackout-free electronic viewfinder, and advanced AI autofocus. The Z8 followed soon after, delivering nearly identical performance in a smaller, more accessible package. The Z6 line continued to evolve as a hybrid-friendly, all-around performer aimed at creators who needed flexibility rather than sheer resolution. In this busy lineup, the Z7 series quietly aged, still respected but overshadowed. For many, it began to seem as if Nikon's focus on ultra-high-resolution photography had taken a backseat. However, industry whispers suggest that this silence was not due to neglect but rather careful planning. Nikon, it appears, deliberately held back the release of the Z7 III to avoid overlap with the Z8's launch and to ensure that when the time came, the Z7 III would represent a significant leap forward rather than a modest iteration. Now, nearly 5 years after the release of the Z7 II, mounting evidence suggests that the long-awaited successor is finally on the horizon, with an announcement possibly coming before the end of 2025. While Nikon has not officially confirmed the Z7 III, early reports and leaks indicate that its design will continue to follow Nikon's established mirrorless philosophy, one built on reliability, comfort, and familiarity. The body is expected to maintain a similar footprint to the Z7 II, compact yet professional, striking a balance between portability and control. This design language has proven successful across Nikon's lineup, particularly among photographers who value tactile precision and intuitive operation. One of the most anticipated design updates concerns the rear LCD display. Rumors suggest that the Nikon Z7 III will adopt a 3.2-inch 4-axis tilting touchscreen, the same design used on the Z9. This type of screen allows for versatile angle adjustments without the bulk or awkwardness of a fully articulating display. It's the perfect middle ground for both photographers and videographers, accommodating low-angle landscape shots or overhead compositions while maintaining a streamlined body profile. As for memory options, Nikon seems likely to stick with dual UHS-2 SD card slots rather than introducing CF Express support. This would keep the camera both cost-efficient and accessible, aligning with the needs of high-resolution shooters who often prioritize storage flexibility over maximum burst performance. The overall handling is also expected to see minor but meaningful refinements, slightly improved grip contours, more responsive buttons, and enhanced weather sealing for greater durability in extreme environments. For photographers who spend long hours in rugged outdoor conditions, whether on a mountain ridge or deep in a dusty desert, this kind of dependability will remain a cornerstone of the Z7 III's appeal. Where the Nikon Z7 III is expected to make its biggest impact is in performance and image processing. While its predecessor relied on dual Expeed 6 chips, the Z7 III is rumored to feature Nikon's flagship Expeed 7 processor, the same engine that powers the Z8 and Z9. This alone would mark a transformative leap in responsiveness, autofocus, and data handling, allowing the Z7 III to compete directly with modern heavyweights like the Sony A7 RV and Canon EOS R5. If the latest leaks and insider predictions hold true, Nikon is likely positioning the Z7 III for an official reveal by late 2025, with full market availability expected in early 2026. This timeline aligns with Nikon's recent release strategy, spacing out major announcements to give each product ample visibility and sales momentum. It also allows the company to further promote its existing models, such as the Z6 III and Z8, before unveiling a new high-resolution flagship aimed squarely at professionals who prioritize still image excellence over hybrid flexibility. As the mirrorless market continues to evolve, filled with hybrid models and cameras trying to do everything at once, the Nikon Z7 III stands out for what it represents: purity of purpose. It's not about shooting at 120 frames per second or recording RAW video internally. It's about capturing every fine texture, every gradient of light, and every subtle nuance of a scene with breathtaking clarity. Whether Nikon chooses a Sony or Tower semiconductor sensor, whether it prioritizes 8K video or perfects 4K recording, one thing is abundantly clear: the Nikon Z7 III won't be a minor refresh. It will be a bold statement of intent, proof that Nikon remains deeply committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and the timeless pursuit of photographic perfection.